as people join in, then they'll just be welcomed as they are. So I'll take a deep breath and just center in and know that we are here to serve the greater good of all. We are here by divine appointment for this present time. And we are each uniquely equipped to show up as the hands and feet of God and in a particular way that each of us is called. And for this knowing, we give thanks. For the presence of one another, we give thanks. And for the collective allness of us, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. All right, Switcher Studio. So I got turned on to this in a whirlwind of trying to find a way to create a live service, a live Sunday service, and going through all of the apps and programs that I already knew about and comparing to ones I was learning about. And this one just really stuck with me. Of course, its one big limitation is that it is for iOS only. There are some workarounds with that. The primary workaround being that if you use video chat, you can bring someone in from any device, any laptop, any camera, any desktop, anywhere, whether they're iOS or PC or Android. So some of you on this call I know don't have an iOS device yourself, but maybe your tech team does. And so whoever has that device would be running as the switcher. And so that's going to be our first vocabulary word, switcher. Because when you open the app, it's going to ask you to enter in switcher mode or as a remote camera. So if you want to use the word switcher and think of it as the same as the control room, the switcher in the control room, right? So that tech person, that switcher can be located anywhere and then bring other people in through video chats, okay? What I love about this app is that it is intuitive to me as a video professional, and it is simple enough that it's the one I really feel like anyone who can run PowerPoint, who can create a PowerPoint, I feel like can get this app under their fingers. So I don't think it's as intimidating, and yet it serves the needs that I have as a professional. So, so for those of you who have a tech team, you may not have to get your head wrapped around this app completely, but your tech team is going to go wild with it. If it's you and you're a one-person show, or you've got maybe one other person helping you, and you need to learn whatever app you're using or platform you're using to create a virtual service, you're going to be able to get enough familiarity with this that it's going to seem like you have a team. So those are the reasons. You can have multi-camera, which means you can have more than one camera feeding into it. You can bring pre-recorded video in. So if you're still on a learning curve with being live or uncomfortable being live on video, you can just record your sermon ahead of time or record the meditation ahead of time, bring it into the app and push it out as if it's live. What? You don't have to actually be live to be live. So music, there are a few little workarounds you're going to want to do with that, but you can bring graphics in, you can bring titles in. So it really just, and it has templates built into the app. So it feels like you have everything right there in your pocket, literally. So I kind of leaked it out and shared with a couple of people, and I saw that there was an interest in the same kind of reception, and I thought, well, let's just get a tutorial. I've got 2 Sunday services under my belt using it, and a couple other live experiences using it. I've got the AV team at Unity World Headquarters, which Andy and Hillary are on the call here, learning it. And so I invited them to this as well so that we can all just keep, we're all in learning mode at different levels. And I think just the more that we're on the same page and using a similar app, the more we can be resources to each other. Okay. So that said, I'm going to start with an overview. Actually, you know what? The first thing I'm going to do is show you the dashboard. So you've got the app on an iPad or an iPhone, and then you can use your browser to go to switcherstudio.com. And you can also log in there. Now you cannot run as the switcher from a browser, because then you might think, well, if I have Android, I can just go to Chrome and log in, but you can't run as the switcher. You can only use that to access your account. You use that to start and launch the video chat, and you use that to store files, because there is a cloud. That's the other thing. It has a built-in cloud that you can keep your files. So if, let's say, you have a Sunday service and a Wednesday service and a Monday night class that you're doing all virtual now, well, you can put the files that you need to run each of those, like the PowerPoints that you're using, the titles that you're using. You can put those all in the Switcher cloud and just pull them into the app as you're using them on Monday, on Wednesday, on Sunday. So it just is its own ecosystem. Okay. All right. And some people are jumping in. We are recording this. Hi, Val. Hi, Carla. Judy. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually show you what the dashboard in the browser looks like. And again, I want you just to be real clear that you are not operating as the switcher from the dashboard. So this is just a screenshot from Chrome, and you'll see on the left, can you see my cursor as I move it? Hillary?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yes.
So you'll see my dashboard, which is what we're looking at right here. And here you can see which accounts I have linked. I have a YouTube account linked. I do not have a LinkedIn account link. So I would tap that and link it there if I wanted to. I've got my help center, informational blogs, video tutorials. There's lots and lots of videos on YouTube that you can go to. And then my video. So every video you create, every live stream that you create is going to be stored here, and you can access and share it out. It will also be stored on the device that you're using to make it. If, oh, this is not a live browser, it's just a screenshot. So if I were to go to that video chat, which I'll show you that screen later, that's where you're gonna launch the video chat and get the link. And your link is unique to your account. So once somebody has your link, you don't have to send that to them every time, they can just save it. There's a Switcher cloud, your billing information, your videos if you just want to see them, streaming providers, custom RTMP, profile, downloads, etc. So again, you're not running a Switcher from here, but it's really nice to have this browser sort of account to be able to go to and show everyone. All right, so now we're going to switch to, I want to show you that video chat. Let's see. Stop the share, we'll show the video chat. So when I hit this video, that's not what we're looking at right now, is it? Sorry, let me stop that share again. Here we go. So when I click on the video, why is it not showing you that? I know I've got it up here. There we go.
Kelly Isola is asking, wait, she's asking,
I'll do it, Valerie. I just didn't want to interrupt.
oh, okay, sorry.
Jackie, maybe you could say again, because we've had a couple people leave because they're not on an Apple. If you could say again what you said at the beginning, even if I'm not, how what you're doing is relevant still?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. So even if you're not on, if you are not the person that holds a Mac device like an iPhone or an iPad, if someone on your team has one, they can operate as the switcher and bring you in through video chat, which now you should be looking at. Kelly, are you looking at the video chat screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, so right here, so on this tab, when I'm in the browser, and you want to stick to Chrome as much as possible. On the iOS device, you can use Safari, but if you're on a laptop or desktop, you want to use Chrome, you would go to your account and you would use the video chat, and this link is your designated chat room. And so you could copy it and send it to someone, or someone would be sending it to you. Unless you have access to the account, you can just get the link yourself. Now, the person who's operating as the switcher wants to be the one who launches video chat. So if you are not the one who is operating as the switcher, and if you're the one speaking on Sunday, it will be super cool if you're also not the one operating as a switcher, but you can be both. And I've done it myself. So it's possible. It is really stressful even for me. But that's where you would launch the video chat. And all it does is it opens up in your browser a new window. And this is true for anyone who has the link. And you can select your camera. So if it's your laptop built-in camera, or an iPhone or iPad camera, or an Android camera, or just a webcam that you have attached to your computer, you'll choose which camera and what microphone you want to use, if it's the built-in microphone or if you have an exterior microphone ported in. And then you would type your name so that the switcher knows the name, and then you would enter into the chat room. And so I've got a video that will demonstrate that soon, but I just wanted to, again, to reiterate Kelly's question and to show you a little bit more of what you're going to find on the browser. And that's an important function. It's probably the most consistent thing I use the browser for. Sometimes, I don't know, 3 or 4 days have gone by and it's the only thing I've used the browser for, but you do have to do that from here. So you're launching that video chat room. And I will say that the way the subscriptions are broken down, they cost more the more people that you want to be able to bring in on, let's see, I'm gonna mute Joanna there. Hi, Joanna. You're gonna wanna, okay, so the more people you want to bring in by video chat, the more you're gonna pay per month. So I think it goes 1, 2, and then 4 or something like that. So there is that to know. But if it's just you that needs to be brought in, you know, that's fine. It'll just be that lower pay rate. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share on that. And let's just go to the app overview. Well, actually, let me pause. Are there any questions? I'm going to look in the chat stream. This is going too fast for, okay, Pat, I can slow down. So yeah, thank you. Let me know, and I'll try to be better about keeping, I am recording this. Let's see, we got someone from Denton. I don't use Apple, so it's not going to be helpful today. Okay, and again, if you're not using Apple, if you have access to someone who can support you and they're on an iOS device, then they can run it from a distance. And I did say that in the post, just I'm feeling bad because some people had different expectations, but I did say it in the original post. And I know we're all consuming a lot of information, so I just feel bad that people came with different expectations. And yes, so it did say it's relevant even if you don't have Apple. And so some of those, what I've just reviewed so far is all going to be repeated again as we go into the demonstration. And I use that a lot, repetition. I need it. And so don't feel like you have to write every single thing I'm saying down, because I have videos that will show each. I have one that's just an overview of the app, a video that shows titles and graphics, one that shows the video chat, one that shows how to use multiple cameras, and one that actually shows how to go live, one that shows how to do a test, because you can test it and nobody else will see it, and then you can go delete it just in case you're worried that somehow Facebook will populate it and let everyone see your test that you're not supposed to, you know, that's not supposed to be seen by the world. But I'm going to show all of that, and I did it by recording my screen on my phone and on an iPad, so so that we will go through each of those pieces step by step, and then that will all be in the recording. Okay, so everyone just keep breathing with me. It's a lot. And when I made those recordings, I didn't record audio so that I could talk live with you and stop it and go back and stop and go back without interrupting the audio on the video of that, if that makes sense. So we can really talk through it and make sure that everyone's moving together, moving forward together. Okay. One more person I have to bring into the equation. Oh, sorry. Okay. That was a private one. I didn't mean to read that out loud. Okay, still trying to understand the term switcher. Okay, so think of that as the person, if you think of a control room, and in the olden days when we actually had switches in a control room, that's the switcher. It's the person who is the mastermind of the actual recording itself. It's the one who is in the app as the switcher, who controls when and how it goes live, when and how it gets recorded, where it goes when you're done recording it. That person is putting in real-time graphics or titles or pre-recorded video, is handling all of that in real time as it goes live. And I'll say it again, you can also pre-record this entire thing. So if you drop different elements in, you can send it just to your device. You don't have to send it out into the world. Okay, so so not only can you bring pre-recorded stuff into it, you can make a recording of the entire thing, but the switcher is the only one who gets to do that. So if Andy and I are going to run a program together, I'm going to bring him on video chat. I'm the switcher. I'll bring him in through video chat. I might also be on camera, and I'll decide when it says Andy Wagner, video rock star. I'll decide when it says Jackie Fernandez. I'll decide when we go to B-roll or like another picture, maybe we're going to have a really cool quote. And so I'm going to put a graphic up of a quote. I'm the switcher, I'm going to do all of that. And then also determine where it goes and when. Okay, and so you can see even by that description, if you're the one giving a sermon and holding that prayerful, meditative, sacred space, it could be a lot to be the switcher. But if you just do the very basic pieces of it, it's not bad. I'll say that. But the more bells and whistles you want to use, you know, it can just take a little bit of time. So if you have at least one person supporting you, I would say that's ideal. Like I said, I've done it twice by myself on Sundays, and I brought Tammy's on the call. I brought her in to lead meditation, to read the daily word, and I was able to do that. And I would say the worst thing that happened was I had to look down because I was looking into my laptop as the camera, and on my phone I was operating it. So I would look down to tap her name or to bring her over up onto the screen. Oh no, you know, that's right now we're just like, let's just be present. Let's connect. Let's put our best foot forward. But nobody complained. Nobody pulled their tithe back because I looked down, you know? Okay. So, Kelly says, I was playing with it the other day. It is so fun. And it really is. Like, that's the other piece. Once you get over just kind of the initial, ooh, what happens when I touch that icon or this icon? It's really fun, and it will make you feel and look like a rock star. Like you've got a lot happening, technically speaking, behind the scenes, and it makes it very simple because you can create all of those pieces in advance and just have them there ready for you on Sunday morning. You're not thinking about how do you spell your music director's last name, not worrying about any of that. It's all prepared in advance. And if you have more people on the app, somebody else can do some of that. Okay. Valerie said she saved a bunch of tests and posted them. Awesome. And Megan's asking, so if I'm doing everything myself, this won't work. It will work. And there are a couple of different ways to do it yourself. So I'm going to review this right now, and then I'm going to start going through the video tutorials that I created, okay? And the one way you can do it yourself is you have the ability to bring in another iOS device as a remote camera. So if you have the Switcher app, if you have your iPhone next to you or an iPad, go ahead and open it. And the first thing you will see is, well, log in, create account, or remote camera mode. If you're already logged in, it'll say switcher or remote camera mode. So if I'm going to use this iPhone as just a camera, I can hit remote camera mode and I'll be able to bring it in. And then I can use my iPad as the switcher. If it's just me running it, I can have my iPhone up here looking at me and my iPad in my lap running as the switcher. Or vice versa. Maybe I like my iPad camera better, so I've got that up in front of me. Also, I could bring myself in by video chat. So if you're running it by yourself, you can bring yourself in as video chat. The most bare bones way to do it by yourself is to put your iPhone in a tripod right here, tripod with an iPhone holder on it. Like this would be the most bare bones way. And that's the only device I'm going to use. So I'm going to log in as the switcher. And then what I'll have to do, I'll be looking into the camera on my iPhone, and I'll have to just reach up and touch the other things if I want a title or a graphic, a quote, a video, anything like that, where I cannot use anything and just talk into it, and it can be streaming live or just recording, okay? So you can do it by yourself and just use one device. And so MacBook Air, laptop, and iPhone, but no other person to work with me. It's fine. So I've been using my my laptop as the camera just because I can have it set there and then hold my phone in my lap as my switcher. That's how I've been doing it. And then when I had Tammy on with me, she was actually in the other room with her laptop set up as the camera, and I had her on video chat with that. Now she has an iPhone. We could have had two cameras on it. That's the other thing. I could have two cameras on me right here and just, you know, like that. We don't need that for a Sunday morning, I don't think. But maybe if I were the musician and I'm holding a guitar, I might have one that's kind of this way, so you're seeing my face a little closer up, and I might want to have one that's further away that's showing me and my guitar, and someone else is running that back and forth. That could be a really, you know, sort of souped up way of showing that. And if they have, you know, those two devices, there's no reason not to do that. So, but you can go very, very bare bones, just you and your phone. Andy, you got a question?
Does the camera, like say you have two cameras, do both of them have to be iPhones?
Yes, and if you're using multiple cameras, they have to be in the same location. The only way to get someone who's not in the same location is through video chat. It's a really good question. Actually no, but it has to be, there's a, I'm just gonna tap it. There's an RLCC code. So any camera that has that, so actually you could bring a drone in, you can bring an Osmo in, any camera that has a Wi-Fi device. For those of you who bought Mevos, does anybody here have a Mevo? You can bring a Mevo in as a camera. But you have to be on the same Wi-Fi for that. Otherwise, you're gonna go to video chat. Okay, so if you're distance, video chat. If you're on the same Wi-Fi, then you can bring lots of different types of cameras in. Okay, everyone take a deep breath. Okay, so let's start with the app overview. All right, and let's make that full screen. Okay, so I'm gonna play this and try to remember what I was doing. So I made this in Switcher, and I had an iPad that was recording all of it. So I had that title that was there is actually a template in Switcher. I'm gonna back it up and show it to you again. And in the template, it says, welcome to the show. So I just changed the words Switcher app overview. And then I had my iPhone running the demo, and I was just doing a screen record into the Switcher, into the iPad, okay? So I'm gonna start it over. So now you're looking at my iPhone app, and here's the deal. First things first, every time you do Switcher, you gotta hit airplane mode and do not disturb. And you'll see that I tried to start almost all the videos with that, and then that little button is just my screen recording. But airplane mode and do not disturb. If you get a phone call while you're running as a Switcher, you will be kicked out and your live stream will stop. If you get a text, if you get an email, any noise that's heard. So airplane mode, do not disturb. You're busy, just like Sunday morning, right? Okay, so first things first. And then I open up the app, and here, I'll use as Switcher. Let me back that up. Or remote camera, and that's where I would choose, and I would decide who I'm gonna be. At the bottom, you'll see you can go to Facebook, YouTube, you can go to your files and do other options, but we're gonna go right into as a Switcher. And you'll see here, this is my iPhone camera, which is my nice Formica table. And then these are some titles that I had already pre-made that are in. So this is kind of my doc, if you will. Think of it as your slides if you're in a PowerPoint. And you'll see that checker. That means it's gonna go over whatever video is showing there. And these are all completely editable. We'll show that at a different time, but this is gonna be a split screen. So I might have a graphic here. I did this for meditation. I put an affirmation up here, and then Tammy's face down here, the video, as she's doing the meditation. Here I had the prayer for protection graphic, which we've used on some of the videos. I used it for the service as well towards the end to just be able to, so whatever I touch when I'm the Switcher, whatever I just tap on any of these, they will go up. If I use the prayer for protection and I tap one of these titles, it will put a title up over that. So you got to remember to take that off. And the way you take it off is just touch it again. So if it's got a red bar around it, that means it's here, and you will see it here. This is your preview. Okay, and then this is a template that I have that I made through the titles and graphics. So there you can see, here's the red. So it lets me know if I'm just looking here. I'm gonna try to give us a more interesting view of my delicious chai this morning. So I'm going to the prayer for protection. Of course, that's the big record button. That means you're gonna go live or not. Right now I'm not, I'm just looking. And there I just tapped on the title, and you see it goes there. Now I'm using this split screen, which if you caught, I would, and we'll go through this in more detail, but I would just touch that first, and whatever I want is A, and you can see the A there, and whatever I want is B, you can see the B there. It's gonna go there, okay? So again, this is an overview, so I just want you to kind of get an idea. We'll go into more detail as we go through this of how to do it. So now, so that was my star. So all of this, my control room is the star. And I'll say that that's just on your iPhone. On the iPad, that screen is always open. And then you would just go to like this little camera icon. So let's go to this little camera icon now. And that's gonna show me which cameras are being fed into my production. So right now, I'm showing the built-in camera. And you can toggle that off. So if you're not even going to use that, you don't even want it to be in your production room, you can just toggle that off. And you can use this icon to use front or back camera, and it'll actually flip. Now this is showing the iPad because I'm feeding all of this to the iPad. If I had a remote camera set up, it would show that. It would say, you know, iPhone on network or something like that. So that's going to be my list of cameras that I have coming in. This is for the device I'm using, the microphone and the camera. I can also switch here. And there you can see I just tapped the mic off because I didn't want audio. Let me come back to this screen again. So I'm going to go to this icon, which you might recognize as a sideways share symbol. Okay, so this is where you're going to send your video. Are you going to go to Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, or custom RTMP? Now this is what I use to go to Restream, and then I can schedule it on Restream, or I can go to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We're not going to get into any of that here, but I just want you to see that if you know what it means to have a custom RTMP and to send something to it, you can do that right here as well. So this icon is going to show us where we're sending the stream. And so I tapped on Facebook, and this is the last one I use. I would use this settings here to change if I want to go to a different Facebook. So right there, I tapped that, choose destination, view scheduled stream. So if I have more than one stream scheduled, I got my Monday night, my Wednesday night, and my Sunday, or I could unlink the account. Now what it's going to do is going to bring in, if it's linked to your account, it's going to bring in as an option any page or group or your personal timeline that you have access to, that you're admin on. You're going to be able to cast live stream to. So you would choose it right there. You would title your stream, enter a description. You know, I always do high. There's really no reason to do full HD unless you plan on streaming, you know, showing this on a really big screen somewhere. But it just takes up bandwidth and might create a little more issue with your actual stream. So there's no reason to really go HD. You can turn comment moderation on, so you can look at comments within Switcher app. I haven't done that. I might get to that later. I might not. I can schedule it. So I'm creating this stream right now. I can either go live or I can schedule it, and it will actually post the Facebook event on the Facebook timeline of whatever is here. So just like you're in Facebook creating an event, you can actually do that from Switcher. And then you can cross post. So you can put it on on 2 pages in a group. So if you want to do that, you can set that up as well. Okay. So this is just, remember, back to where we're going to share it right here. And this is the list. So you'll know because there'll be a check mark. So there's a check mark on none, I think, on that one. I can't quite see it, but so if I choose none, I'm just recording to device, and that is a cool option, right? I might just want to be practicing. I might be checking audio. I might want to make sure my audio sounds okay, or if I have music in the background, I want to make sure it's not too loud. So I can do a test and just save it to my device, or maybe I want to pre-record something, and then I can use that recording back in my control room, and I can tap on it later, and I don't have to do that live. I can just sit there and sip my coffee while that's playing, okay? So that tells you where the video is going to. This is your transitions. So I like cross dissolve because it does a nice fade out and fade in of your graphics or any video that you're switching to. So if I'm bringing Andy in, it'll fade me out and him in, kind of a cross dissolve. You can go wipe, cube, twist, and then if you tap the arrows, you can customize those. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a very cool basic stuff that just really kind of kicks it up a notch. So this is the chat icon. That's for video chat. So you remember I've launched the video chat room from my browser on my laptop or desktop, but I also need to join the room as a switcher, because the switcher needs to see who's in the chat room. And that doesn't count against your subscription level. So if I have a subscription to bring 2 other people in, that doesn't count the switcher, okay? So I would want to join room, and there you can see how many minutes I have based on my subscription type. And it would list who's in the chat room. And then there'll be a few other options to choose there. Oh, good, I showed it. I wasn't sure. So you will want to, if you want to use the guests as a source, you would want to toggle this on, and that way they would show up when I go back to my control room. It'll show all my guests, and I can just tap them on and off right there. And one thing you want to remember is that everyone, just like you have on your Zoom, you can mute your own mic, or I can. It's just like that here. And so if you have someone you can trust, it's really good to have them mute their own mic so that you don't get any feedback issues. I will say Switcher is really good about automating a lot of that. And so it's reducing opportunity for problems, but it's not 100%. And one thing that can happen is if one of your people on video chat is watching your Facebook Live, that will create a problem because their audio is always going to be on. And so it's going to be feeding back to itself. Even with the delay, that will create an issue with their audio feed. So if you can trust them to mute themselves, that's great. You can also do it as the switcher. And what's important for you to know is that even if you choose, so if I have Andy and Hillary on and I put Hillary's face up, we can still hear Andy unless I've muted him or he's muted himself. Now, what's cool about that is if I want to show something else, and if I want to show a PowerPoint slide and Andy's still talking, I can show the PowerPoint slide, we still hear his voice. Or if we're having a conversation and we're both laughing, it's okay to hear us both laugh, even though we might just be looking at me, if we're going back and forth. But it's just one thing that you want to keep in mind is that audio is live the whole time, unless you specifically mute it. Okay, so this these little slider icons, I mean, you're not going to need this unless you're a photographer. If you're already a photographer and you're familiar with exposure and white balance and all that kind of stuff, this is so cool. That's what I'm saying. There's stuff here for the professionals, and maybe depending on the camera you're using. Most people, you just leave this as auto. That zoom is an option, and so you see this slider right here. It will allow you to zoom in and out a little bit. So you can toggle that on and off. And there's an example zooming into my chai. It was really yummy. Just on my iPhone. So it's quite a bit of latitude there. And that slider is live, so you can do that in real time. So this is audio. So if I want to check my built-in microphone and check the levels there or set anything, if I have auxiliary audio channels, you can do all of that in your, like if you're using a laptop, remember when we got into the video chat room, you selected your audio. So you can do that there too, but this is just another opportunity if you need to customize anything. Polls, Facebook polls, you can bring those into Switcher and run them from here. I'm not doing that, but it's there as a feature. And the same with the comments. You remember when I showed you when you're setting up your live stream, if you want to moderate comments. So that's here. It would load the comments there so you could go right there and look at them. I just haven't done that because I've typically been on camera as I'm running as switcher, and that's just too much for me to do. And then when we're running like for Unity, we've got the social media team doing that. So, but you can do it right here. And this little thing, it's a scoreboard. Why? I don't know, but it's super cool. Look, you can, and it just puts a scoreboard up there. There are two different versions of it, and you can add, I'm adding points. You can reset it. I'm showing you, just demonstrating the other format. So you can do classic there. This is the other one. It puts it right there. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're going to do a quiz or have some team, have a team quiz in one of your classes. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so this is the last icon. And so you'll see here, all of those icons are listed. And if I tap here, I can rearrange them. So like video chat defaulted like way down here, but I moved it up because I use it a lot. If there's something like, if you're never going to use Facebook polling or scoreboard, you know, whatever, I would leave those at the bottom, but there you can kind of customize that. So otherwise there's nothing else that you really need to do here. You can completely take them off. I guess that would be an option. Okay, so back to the scoreboard and back to, so now we're back on the star, back to our control room, okay? Oh, so I wanted to show you that blue plus, or it's a white plus, I guess, on a blue icon there. So if you tap that, we're back in the control room. If you tap that, that's how you're going to add title and make titles, add photos, add video. You can add a logo that would stay up the whole time in the bottom corner. You can add inputs here. You can access your Switcher Cloud files, and you can program different multi-screen. So I showed you the one that had the A that was full screen and the B was the little inset. There are all kinds of variations on that, and each of them are customizable, which we'll demonstrate later. So here I tapped on photo, and I just wanted you to see that you can access like your photo library on your device, imported images. You can access files and USB, so I can go to other apps. I can also grab from Google Drive, Dropbox, and then I can create folders with tags on it. Grab from my Switcher Cloud, so I'm keeping these things in my cloud so that I can access them. And then samples are just like sort of templates they've included. Not even templates really. But if I want to go to text and graphics, let's see, that's not what I hit there. I hit video, okay. So multi-views. So these are some of the different, the dashboard, the split screen, and each of those is customizable. So you can really get in there and play with that. I did this one, I think, with like an announcement or something, and then put my face there. Or if you're talking and you have a PowerPoint slide, you know, I mean, it just adds interest, I think. You can do 3 slots. So if you have 3 different people, you can put your faces on that way. You can actually turn that bottom one into a circle, which I think I demonstrate when we get to that one. But so each of those are really customizable, and it's pretty simple. It walks you through each of the options. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. Okay, I'm showing you the select, because if you want to say, like, so you've made this, that's a standard template, but you can send it to your cloud, save it in your cloud. If you select something, you can delete it. So it's a way to send a bunch of them to your cloud. This one is just slides the view on your in your control room. See, I'm waiting to see what. There we go. Okay, so I just recorded there. That's what happened. Let me back that up. Okay, so you're sliding the view there. Oh no, I was uploading to the cloud. That's what I did. Sorry. Some of it's hard to see on the when you're capturing the screen. So I sent that all to the Switcher Cloud. So that one just shows you I can access all of my recordings. It keeps everything that you've done live, and you can delete them. You can send them out to somewhere, to email or to Dropbox or Google Drive. Those are other cameras. About the devices that are connected. There we go. Okay, let's see what I get into next. It's a little bit of a guessing game when it doesn't capture like my finger, so I can see where I'm tapping next. So here, I think I've got this. Why am I not getting rid of that scoreboard? We didn't need that up the whole time. Okay, so there I just got rid of, I untoggled the built-in camera and muted it. And now I'm going to add Patricia Bass, because I have her in my imported videos. I think I debated whether I should or not, and I was like, yeah, she's here. Let me go ahead and add her. And so I can add her there, and I already had her title built into my cloud, because I've run the live updates that she's doing that hopefully you all have seen. So there I'm accessing my cloud, and you can see the different titles I've made and different images that I've used that I think I'll reuse. I keep Patricia's in there because I know she's going to do more updates. So I can, when I remove it from here, it's still going to be in my cloud, and I can just clear it out. So when I'm on to the next project, I don't need to keep Patricia's in my control room. It's already stored in the cloud. And if you put like the title, that just goes over as an overlay. And you'll see that it kind of dims the background. And here I'm just going to demonstrate that multi-view. So I tapped that, and I have to pick an A and a B. And again, we're going to go through that. And if I tap that afterwards to get out of it, I'll hit solo for that. And did you see how she just slid out of the way? We're going to review that later. But again, this is just the overview. And I think that's about it on the overview. So is there anything that we want to watch again? I'm going to stop share just for a second so I can see the chat. Record you. Okay. Pull people of scripture came from Gospel of John or Gospel of Matthew. There you go. See? Do we need a separate device to run switcher than the one we use to run the camera? So the answer is no. You can run your camera on your switcher device. You can use just one device for the whole thing. It's just a little, you know, tricky, because if you have it in front of you, people are going to see kind of you reach forward. Not a big deal. You know, if that's all you got, work with it. They're going to be so impressed with all the other things you're doing. They're not even going to notice that. But yes, Chris, you can use one device as the whole kit and caboodle. Are there any other questions so far, just from the overview? Okay. Let's go to titles and graphics. So we'll just walk a little more slowly through that. Obviously, that switcher graphic, again, is one of the template titles that you'll see. Let me see if I demonstrate. Yes, first things first, airplane mode, do not disturb. Do not forget that, because you'll spend the whole lifetime sweating it out. I'm speaking from experience. I did that on, gosh, I think it was Patricia's on this last Monday. Oh, that whole thing was very stressful. She was having lag on her end, so I didn't get the video until right before we had to go live with it. So it was just, you know, and I just went, and I didn't stop to do that. Fortunately, nobody called, but 7 minutes is a very long time to not get a text or a call or some kind of notification. So I want to keep reminding that. If nothing else, write that down. Airplane mode, do not disturb. Okay, so let's see, right now I'm just changing things around, or I'm actually removing. I decided to leave her there so we have something to put a title on. Okay, so I'm going to do text and graphics right here. And right there, before I go into the first one, let's just look at the options. So this is text and graphics. Okay, so I hit the blue button with the white plus on it. I tap that to add something, right? That's the add sign. And that's going to take me to all the things that I can add, which are photos, videos, graphics, logo, input. I'm going to choose text and graphics, which gives me titles. That's the big welcome to the show. Lower thirds, that would be like if you want to put someone's name. You can do social overlay, so I can keep my Facebook handle or Twitter handle up the whole time. I can do a broadcast notification, like the broadcast will begin shortly or broadcast ending soon. I can add a logo as a corner bug, so it would live in the corner of my video the whole time. I could do an image overlay, so if I'm going to want to put an image on top of someone, I can build that there, or an image as a lower third. I can build that there. Okay, so those are all my text and graphics options. You see what I'm saying? There's so many things built in. So this is, these are titles, and you'll see that welcome to the show, but these are all the templates that are there. So anytime you see that checkered is where you can, when you lay that over something, it'll show what's underneath it. So you remember how I put that welcome to the show on top of Patricia while she was speaking? So whatever is in that space will show, video or picture. So I tap the welcome to the show, and I'm going to delete welcome, and I'm going to put my own Sunday. The Sunday is April 5th, so I put April 5th. But you're going to be more creative than that. You might put the name of your ministry. Unity, I think I came up with Seattle of Seattle. And you might be thinking, what if I don't like that text? Or what if I don't like that it's all caps? You can change all of that, and I'll show you that here just below. You can change the size of it. You cannot change the white bar that goes around. You can change the text color though, which I'll show you here. And there's where you can change the font. And there you can change if it's all caps or not. So you can just play around with that. You're not going to hurt anything. That initial template will always be there as a template. Whatever you change, you can drop into your work area, and then you can save it to your cloud if you're going to use it again. So I know the Pantone code for Unity Blue, 007997. There it is. Which is a terrible color to use as text over like an image, unless your image is white. But there are the different fonts. There are quite a few fonts in there. You're probably not going to find the branding fonts, but you'll find something close to it if you want to. I didn't worry too much about that for the demo, but just mainly to show you, you can change it. You can change the all caps for line 1, line 2. This is the dimming. So you remember how when this was over Patricia kind of faded into the background. So that dimming is, you can choose what color and to what level the underlaying graphic or video will dim. You can fix that there. So like way more options than you need, right? But enough to, you know, when you get there, when you're ready. So now I'm using my camera on my iPhone to look at the iPad that's recording this. So I'm like, you know, I'm in the rabbit hole here. So you can see you can see the switcher room. That's the switcher room. There we go. And so I'm putting Patricia back on, putting the title we just made. You see how terrible that looks? So practice that. When you make something, practice it. And then go back and change it if you decide you don't like it. These are photos. You can go to your photo library on your phone, imported images. There's my phone. Pick my daughter, please don't tell her. But there. So there's just an image, and I can put anything. See, do you see how she kind of faded into the background? That was that dimming that we talked about. So we're going back, and we're going to choose the lower third. So this is where you want to put, I'm really partial to just that first one. And so I put my name in here, and then, you know, you might put minister, senior minister, or you might, if someone's reading the daily word, you know, reading of the daily word. So if you have different moving parts of your service, you might think of that instead of trying to give someone a title of labeling what part of the service it is. So you can think creatively in that way. And again, the font and the colors and the size and the placement are all completely customizable. So you could put senior minister there. You could say the name of your ministry. You could say something about what part of the service that is. Are there any questions?
Hey, Jackie, this is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
This probably, I don't know that you would know this, but is that $40 a month the lowest one, like the only,
I think
the monthly plan, the pricing?
I think so.
Okay.
And I think there's a free plan, isn't there?
There is. It's only for 2 weeks, and you get a watermark on your stuff.
Okay,
And
right.
but I didn't know if, because, and I know that you may not know this, but just asking anyway, that some places like Zoom or others are offering, you know, during these times, you know,
Right.
yeah.
And so there you can see me moving it over, and you can change the offset of that subtitle, whether it skews to the left or to the right. Get it right where you want it. Change the size of the whole thing, and you can just, and I'm just dragging. I'm just tapping my finger on Reverend Jackie Fernandez and moving it around. I'm using the scale all down here to change the sizing of it, but I'm just tapping and dragging to get it to move where I want it to. So if you hold down and you reorder, then what I'd like to do is put people's name next to their picture. So if I have different people in on video chat, or if their image is already in there, I try to put their names nearby. I put like welcome to the show at the bottom, because I know once I've run that at the beginning, I'm not going to need it again. So I might have that up from the very beginning. So I've noticed that I've created a habit of putting that very early stuff at the bottom, because then it's out of my way. And you can reorder it live while you're live streaming if you need to. That just makes me nervous, but you can.
Jackie,
Yes.
I was just going to tell Kelly that they're running a nonprofit sale right now. So the middle layer, or the middle level, which is usually $75, is right now $50 a month.
Oh, thank you.
And it's a good deal, but you just have to have your designation, your nonprofit designation, which I think you could send to us. Yes, or I don't know.
Me?
Or Unity head.
Oh, yes, Unity Worldwide Ministries. Yeah,
yeah, that's
but most ministries have that documentation. But yeah, that's great. I wasn't aware of that. I actually have to reevaluate what headquarters was paying, because I think we're paying $75. So, and that's to get more people on video chat. It's primarily the difference. But if you think about, if these few months, it might be worth the investment, and you may not use it ongoing, or you can get a steeper discount if you purchase a whole year subscription. So I think you'll see, with all the bells and whistles, it surely creates a lot of value to what you're offering. But it is good to note that the price, like, it's more than Zoom, but it has all of these sort of templates built in, and the ability to use multicam and all that. So I find the value to be well worth it, and especially being able to connect directly into events like that. So I'm not having to go to Facebook and create events and then come back here and do it. It just all automates that. All right. So these are the social overlays. So you can see they look very standard. So you just put your whatever it is, Be Unity will take you to the main Unity page. And you can customize, again, the size there. You can just tap on it and drag it around. I think I dragged this one to the top because I like the way it looks there. And that way it doesn't interfere with my lower thirds. There I'm going to reorder things again. So I just hold it down, tap reorder, and then I can move everything around. And then to get them to stop shaking, you just tap on one of them and it'll stop. All right, so these are the broadcast options and templates. So broadcast will begin shortly, broadcast has ended, and you can create your own hashtag there, or stay tuned. And those are nice to put up. It's always nice to give some lead time when you start just as general practice, when you start your live stream, let there be a pause, and whether it's with one of those notifications or not, but give people time to kind of tune in before you start. All right, so that's our titles and graphics demonstration. Any questions from that? Unlimited video chat time through June 30th and customizable RTMP. Awesome. And you can set stuff like the name and title beforehand. Yeah, Chris, and I think, that to me is the best thing. So, and you can save all of those, and then you can keep them in your Switcher cloud and just bring out what you need. So you could do it for the whole week if you're going to run a couple of different live streams. Create all those titles, And you can either keep them in your dock, or if you know you're going to have a couple different streams, send it to the Switcher cloud and then just pull it out when you need it. Get approval from your senior minister of all the graphics that you created. And for that, I would just take a screenshot, or if they, are able to, if your team is able to log in, then they can look at all of those as they've been prepared. So does that seem simple? How they have it set up? It seems very simple to me, and I want to kind of gauge just my sort of, I see heads nodding, so that's good. It really is, and you can't mess it up is what I really love about it. So get in there and play with it, and don't be afraid of just trying some different things. And even if you just leave it and don't customize anything, it still gives you good options. I will say one thing I've noticed with the titles, with the lower thirds, is that they're kind of big. And they might then, when someone is on, it might actually come across their face, read across their face. So you've got letters there. Again, not the worst thing in the world. So if you do that, you'll not do that again. You'll figure it out, and you'll remember to make it smaller. So just keep that in mind. And probably most people who are watching your services know who everyone is anyway. So you can err on the side of having the type a little bit smaller. And that's all right. And also not worry about it if it does go right across their face. Pat has to go to another meeting. Thanks for coming, Pat, and I hope you give it a try, and good luck with that. She might already be gone talking to her, but she'll watch the rest of the video, so she'll hear that. And Kelly says that $50 a month is totally worth it. And make a smaller PNGs with titles. Make smaller PNGs with titles. All right, cool. So are we ready for another tutorial? Let me see what I have next here. Let's do a going live. Let's do the going live. I can find it.
Can you go slow, because I have to answer Myra real fast.
Okay. Well, I can't find it right now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Great. Elsa's good. Oh, here it is. Go live right in front of my face. It even has a title, Switcher, going live. Sure. There. I went slow for you, Val. Okay, Switcher, going live. So again, you see that beautiful title template there. And so I have that on as the first thing. And if I put video or an image, it would show up behind it. Right now, I don't have anything. Now I just tapped onto my phone screen. So again, I'm recording this into the iPad, but I'm feeding so you can see that red. Let me pause. You see that's screencasting over. But what do we do first? Airplane mode. Do not disturb. You will thank me for drilling that in. I'm going to use that switcher. And there you see my camera. I'm just looking at my video chat, because if I want to bring someone in, I'm going to bring them in through that. And I didn't know what else to show there. Let's see. Oh, there I'm launching. How am I doing that? Do I have someone in? Oh, because I'm going to show you that I'm going to use my laptop as my camera there as an option. So you have to always type your name in, and that's so the switcher knows who's in the chat room. Hi, everybody. I don't know why waiting for others to join. That'll go away when other people come in. Sometimes I've noticed it stays on. There you can see my control room. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Broadcast will begin shortly. What am I doing now? Okay, so we're going to decide where we're going to. And I'm going to go to Facebook. And I created a super secret Facebook page that you are not allowed to like or follow or anything. And I call it Testing Ground. And that's for the benefit of everyone. So I can do testing there without being worried about anyone getting notified. But sure enough, I get like a reach of 45 or 75 on it every time. But I don't get any views. So that's good. So I'm going to do switcher tutorial. Here we go. We're going to go live. I'm going to leave it on high, not really HD. I'm not going to schedule this one, but if I wanted to, I would do it there by toggling that on. I would choose my date. I don't know if you saw the clock right underneath. See the clock under the calendar? That's where I'm going to tap to get the time, and I'll set the time. I'm not going to do that right now because we're going to just create the live stream. Always double check that you've got it going to the right place. So last week, maybe the weekend, I think Kelly's the one that caught us. I was doing some testing and I had a secondary Restream account still tied into the Unity page, and I did a test right live to Unity.
Yeah, you and Juan. It was like this nanosecond.
I was so confused because I was like, I don't even have Juan's video in here, but it was, I had my switcher still linked from the Restream, and it was from when he did the Silent Unity prayer. And
I could hear him and his son in the background. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, but probably shouldn't be up.
No, it was supposed to be going to my testing ground page. Just keep reading, right? Okay, so I've got my, my sharing is going out to that testing ground page. And you see when I hit that red button, it changes to a square for stop. And you can see in the top right, it says live plus record. That means we are live and it is recording. Okay, so it will always record your live stream, and you can save that. You can share it out to Google Drive, to AirDrop, to whatever. It will save to your device, and it will stay on the place that you streamed it to, Facebook or YouTube. So the answer is, will you lose it? The answer is no. So this is a video, and you can see this bar moving across. I created this as like a pre-show, and it's what I had playing. There's no audio with it, but I created, and you see like it just cycled through a couple different shared graphics that I got off the Unity Facebook page. And I just did that in a different program, and then I brought it in to my workspace. So that's, and you can see that bar. So now if this video had audio on it, what I want you to know is you're not going to hear it as the switcher. So you're going to need to watch that bar moving across to see when it's done. And there I'm just showing you the testing ground Facebook page, and there's lag, right? And you all know this if you've done live before. The actual live it can be up to 30 seconds behind what you're doing in real time. So it's still showing live. The broadcast will begin shortly, even though I've already gone through this whole, I think it's like 40-second video. It's still back there, but I wanted you to see that. And that's another reason why you can't watch and listen to Facebook Live while you're recording Facebook Live. It will be very confusing. You will be both here and there. Nobody wants to do that yet. So now it's showing that video that I was on, and okay, so now I'm back to that's the camera. That's the camera that's looking at the Facebook page, but I went ahead and tapped here and took that off. So the camera's still live. So if that's me sitting there, I'm still here, but I'm not on. This red bar tells me what's showing, and this confirms that's my preview area of what is streaming live right now. I have this toggled off. That means my microphone is off. And that's because I'm taking my my audio probably from a different place, but you can take it right from the device. So when I hit stop, this is what happens. It says ending live video. I haven't figured out the latency between when I hit stop. I think it really stops the recording then and is just buffering the video to save it, but I haven't guaranteed that. So until I see 100%, I'm smiling at the camera and I'm not making any sound, no belching or anything. Production ended successfully. We always want to see that. Now see, here is where I can go to a new video, I can share it, and if I click this, it will give me specific places to share it, like AirDrop or other places. Here I can open in, send a photo library, so it's going to save it right in my device, send to a computer, all these other things, but you have to have the right connections depending on what you want to do. And you can do it later. You don't have to do it right now. If you hit that X, you can just get out of it, and it will still be in your list of recorded videos, and you can deal with it later. But here I'm going to show. Yeah.
So the other people on video chat, do they mute their microphone on their?
Yeah, again, that's a great question. If you can trust them to do that, ask them to be responsible for doing that. And the switcher can mute them by going to the chat icon, and we'll cover a little bit of that. I think. No, I don't work a whole lot with audio for today. I think, but
Okay.
the switcher can control who is muted or not, and each person in the video chat room can control it themselves. So
Okay.
I think it's always good to pick one. That way people are like, well, I thought you were doing it. No, I thought you were doing it. And then you've unmuted them, but they're still muted. Just tell them, are they responsible for muting themselves, or is the switcher going to do it?
Okay.
So here I'm just going back to look at what cameras I'm bringing from, and if I'm in the chat room, because if I want to bring someone, you remember I said I launched my chat room at the beginning of this? And so I need to join the chat room, because you remember we didn't see it. That's why I went back and did this, because at the very beginning, remember I launched the chat room, but I didn't join it as the switcher. So when we were in the control room, I forgot about it because I wasn't focused, or maybe I was overly focused. And I didn't join, and I didn't see it there and didn't even think about it and went on. So at the end, I went back. After we're done, we've already saved the video. I'm going to go back and I'm going to join the chat room, and you want to toggle this to show guests as sources. So that's me. I'm in the chat room. There I am on my laptop, and I've got my phone, which is, this screen is my phone. That's the switcher. But I wanted to show you that I'm looking at the laptop there. And I think this is where I had a little bit of trouble joining. Let me see. So I'm going to create a new live stream so that you can see with me in the chat stream, or in the chat room, live with chat room. And again, I can do a description, schedule it, all of that. Always double check where you're going to. There's Jackie in the chat. No, that's actually from my phone, looking at myself in chat. I think this is when I wasn't popping up. And that will happen sometimes. I've had to go back, leave the room and join. So that can get a little glitchy, just like any chat room can. So when you see the list of people, like if I was bringing Andy or Val in, I want to make sure that I can see them. And what has happened sometimes is they'll come in, but it'll be a black screen. See, I'm not listed there anymore. And so I had to relaunch it, and that'll happen. And I think I decided it's because I was screen recording that it just kept glitching out. So we'll stop that. We don't have to watch the rest of that. But mainly, I wanted to see you that will be, and it shows up in the video chat one. This was just the go live, right? Yes, going live. The video chat one, I did it right. It's where we could see it. So any questions about going live? How to send it? Right here. This is your big record button. And when you are live and recording, you'll see it up in the top corner right there. It'll be red. And you'll see that red button turned to a stop. Okay. Megan's asking, yes. So you would need the app on both your iPhone and laptop to switch back and forth. You don't need the app on your laptop. You just need the video chat room, the link to the video chat room to switch back and forth.
In your browser?
In your browser. Yeah, you really can't use the app on a laptop. It's for the iPad or iPhone. So you would be the switcher on your iPhone or iPad, and then your laptop would be for video chat. You could use that as a camera. So I use a music stand for my laptop because I can easily raise and lower it. I can easily tilt it. I can swing it this way. It's not the sturdiest thing, and I can just grab my laptop and go. Where if I have my phone, I go ahead and I put that, I still have it here, on a tripod, so that stays really sturdy. And it's just running. So I can hold my phone, though I don't have to have it up if I'm using my laptop as the camera. Then I can just hold my phone in my lap as the switcher if I'm doing it myself. Okay. Thanks, Kelly. And Megan says video chat room from Zoom or Facebook Live. Nope. So let's go back to, I'm going to share that picture again. So you're going to video chat from your switcher dashboard in your browser. So this is Chrome, and you want to use Chrome on a laptop. And when you log in on Chrome at switcherstudio.com, you're gonna go to your dashboard, but right under it is video chat, and you'll launch the video chat room there. You might be the only one in it, but you have to launch it there. And then when you go on into the chat room in the app, then you'll see yourself there, and you create yourself as a source. Does that make sense? So if I launch this, it will open up that. Let me share that video that we just watched because it had it. When was it? It was go live. Here we go. This is go live. Are you guys seeing that video? Oh wait.
It just says you started screen sharing.
Okay, let me stop that. Well, here, let's go to the, actually, let's just go to the video chat one. Okay, so here I have Sandy, who works, she's our social media manager at headquarters. So I have sent Sandy that link. So when I was in my browser, under video chat, in my account, in my browser, under video chat, remember the link? It says copy. I copied that and sent it to Sandy. And then I launched chat. So I'm in the chat room, and so is Sandy. And so I see her in my control room. That's my laptop. I'm in the chat room with her there. And I'm using the phone as my switcher. See, and I have a, that's actually me. I have a potato, and it's a snap filter up. So I'm the potato. Normally you would see my face there. So I toggled off the built-in camera because right now I only want, okay, let me say this. Because I'm choosing not to use my iPhone, I just want to use it as the control room. I don't want to worry about, since it's in my lap, I don't even want to see the movement of the camera there. Even though if I keep the camera on, as long as I don't tap it, that's just too risky because it might be showing that I'm wearing shorts. I have a very nice top, and I have hot pink shorts on that are not the same hot pink as my top, okay? So I don't want you to see my white legs. So I'm gonna toggle off my device camera, and now I'm just going to pull in from the video chat room, which is Sandy's face or my potato face. Okay, so that's on my laptop, and that's where the chat room is, and I'm looking at it. I'm gonna mute the sound from my phone because I don't want audio and I don't want video from my switcher device, which is my iPhone right now. I'm gonna take the audio from my video chat and my laptop. So when I have her face up, here's what happened is I haven't joined the chat room. So I'm gonna go to join chat room. So I'm in the chat room, I don't wanna confuse you. I'm in the chat room on my laptop. But whoever the switcher is, which might be me, it might be Andy, it might be, you know, my 17-year-old, whoever is the switcher needs to be in the chat room. So there you can see Sandy's in there, and Jax, that's me on my laptop. Now I just joined it and I'm in here as the switcher as well. I want to show guests as source. So think of it as source cameras, right? I'm showing them as a source camera so that they'll be in my workroom, my control room. And you can see that we're getting audio there. You can see that's your audio meter to make sure that you're getting that. So I'm going to come back over, I think, to my room. So there's Sandy. There's me as a potato. That's what I look like in my chat room. Shake your head, Andy. I use my face, and when I do multicam, and you'll see three angles of me. So this is the chat room, and I've taken off my device, audio, and video. So I'm only getting audio and video from the chat room. So there's Jackie. I'm moving my head back and forth. And there's Sandy, and we're having a great conversation, or maybe she's doing a reading. Maybe she's giving a great sermon. Now I'm going to do the multicam. I think there, I need to choose an A. The potato is the A, Sandy's the B. And again, you remember you can make a circle out of that. You can really customize that. You can change the size of it. Oh, I think I'm going to do that right now. Make it really big, make it small. You can just round the edges. I can make it a circle, and then you can make it bigger, smaller. And if you just tap it, tap the B, then you drag it around the way you like it. I'm going to take it off. So there, you see now I've changed that to a circle. Solo me out and see how she just left. Oh, that's just so cool. Oh, I wanted to show you some of these sliders. I don't know why I started playing with this on the video chat one. Maybe because you're more likely on video chat, you're more likely to use this multi-view, like split screen. And it has more options than you need. But also, if you're YFM, people are going to start using this. I know my daughter's YOU group, they're creating meditation videos for each other. So I imagine she's going to want Mama to help her make something fun and cool. And I'm all about it right now because I want more and more practice. Because I feel like the more problems I can run into, the more solutions I'll have for you when you have those same problems. There we go. Okay, so Megan, does that help you with the your question about the video chat? The dashboard doesn't show up on my phone. No, the dashboard will show up on your browser on your laptop. So to get to all video chat is going to happen. The video chat room exists on laptops and desktops only with a browser. And you want to be in that if you need to be in the chat room. Or it'll be confusing. And then when you're the switcher on your device, your iPhone or your iPad, you have to join the chat room, and then you can decide, is that the camera you want to use or not? And I'll tell you what I've been doing lately is I'm using my camera from my phone, my switcher, but I'm bringing audio from my chat room. So I'm still in the chat room, but you won't see that video. And that's because I was getting a delay because of the microphone I'm using. And I'd rather have the nice microphone, so I'm splitting. That's for part 2 or 3. Sorry. But there are options. So you will find, Megan, you'll find your dashboard. If you go to switcherstudio.com and log into your account, switcherstudio.com, log into your account, and you'll see that screen that I showed you. So first you'll see this. And your dashboard's on the left, and you'll select video chat. And that's where you will launch your video chat room and get the link to provide to other people.
Jackie, this is Joanne.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around with this, and I don't know that you have, so I guess I'm asking you the question. Now in the Switcher Studio on my tablet or on my phone, there's the ability to send a invitation from there, and there's also to join the room from there. So I wondered if whether or not they had upgraded their software, and so now you didn't have to launch it from the browser first and then come into the Switcher app. That may be wrong, but that was kind of what my understanding was.
You know, I think you might be right. And they did just do an upgrade. I noticed it last night. It's like a version 4.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at that right now on my phone. So let me say it this way. If you want to be in the chat room on your laptop or desktop, you need to join it and launch it from there.
From there.
Yeah. But
Yep, but otherwise you should just be able to do it all from the Switcher Studio, inviting your guest and everything else.
The invite guest, yeah. Let me see if I can.
Okay, and then the second piece that got really confusing with me with the video chat, and I've only just started playing with it, but unless I'm getting in there wrong, I have to have either an earpiece on or something to hear each other. Like when I first brought somebody into the chat room, we could hear each other when we were on the browser. And then when I went into the Switcher studio, they couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear them. We needed to have our earbuds in. Is that correct? Is that? That's the piece I'm still trying to figure out, the mics and the speakers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, my chat is locked up. I'm trying to put in, can someone put into the chat stream, switcherstudio.com. I just want that to be recorded there. But okay, so yes, that is a problem. And maybe that's why I've gotten into the habit, now that I think about it, of using my laptop and being in the chat room in my laptop. That's exactly why, is so I can hear. Now what I haven't done is connected my iPhone to headphones to see if I can listen there as my switcher. And the reason I haven't is because I'm keeping it plugged in to charge when I'm running it. So
Okay.
my workaround in order to hear audio is to be in the chat room on my laptop.
On the laptop.
Yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
they can, even if I'm not going to be in the video, I get on there. Like when I did Patricia's first live video was actually live. I got in the chat room with her so I could talk to her back and forth. And then once we started, I muted myself and took my camera out of
Got it.
off so that I didn't accidentally show my face, in Patricia's update, but that was so we could talk to each other and I could hear, because if I'm just watching her, you're right, you're not going to hear anything. Just like when I played that one video and I said, you're not going to hear it if you're the switcher.
Right.
So you got to watch the bar move across to see when it's done. I did that with a meditation. So a way to put music in is to create a video that has music. And so I did that for a meditation slide. It had an affirmation and just played low piano music while Tammy did the meditation. I couldn't hear the music, neither could she. And so it was a timing. We just timed it.
Okay.
So yes, thank you for bringing that out. And I think that's exactly why I'm in the habit of always being in the chat room. You're right. You don't have to launch it from a laptop or browser, but if you want to hear them right now, that's the only way I've figured out to do it.
So your participant that enters into the chat room, okay, they're opening up on a browser anyways, or on a browser on their phone, or on a browser on their tablet. Yep. So that for them it doesn't matter. It's correct. Just for me.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that question. As that dashboard screen doesn't show up on my phone. Okay. Yeah, so you and you want the room that you join the video chat on in order to hear cannot be the same device you're running the switcher on. It has to be a separate device. It could be an iPad or an iPhone, but it can't it just can't be the same one that you're running as switcher on, if that makes sense. That has to make sense. I'm just hoping that I'm saying it clearly. We are at 3:26, and I think I have like 3 or 4 more videos to show. And let me just tell you what they are. One, I just did a Facebook test to show you how to do the test. The way you can do a Facebook test is if you choose your own personal timeline, it will give you the option of going live or doing a test, a private test that only you can see. So that automates that option for you. If you choose the other option, you can still set your privacy settings, but it gives you that automatic option. And then you can always go back and delete it if you want, but it's only you that can see it when it's running live. And it's, I'm a huge believer in test your audio, test your video, test your flow, practice bringing titles up, because even I have, like, when I'm doing it live, I, might switch over to someone else, but I forget to take, my name off, or I forget to take their name off. And again, don't sweat it. Like, you're in your learning curve, but the more you practice that, the more, proficient you're going to be at it. And then, the other video I had was multicam, was to show what it looks like when you set up different cameras. And so that could be for someone in the same space, or it could be more than one camera on one person. So, or like my daughter's meditation for her YOU group is going to be an art meditation, and she wants to, like, she's supposed to make something, lead them in like creating something artistic. So we'll probably set one like iPhone or iPad looking down at what she's doing, and one at her face. So she'll have 2 cameras on her, and then I'll just switch back and forth when it makes sense. So, how do we want to do this? Do you guys want a part 2? Do you want a part 1 again after you run it for a Sunday? You know, like, does this pace feel okay? I know it's a lot. What do you think? Yeah. Does this time and day work for you? Thursday? Is that good? It's close enough to Sunday that you're thinking about it, but not so close that you're stressed, freaking out. Here's what I would like to do is my cell phone is 816-830-1441. Some of you have it. I'll say that again in just a minute if you need to grab something to write with. But I will make myself available on Saturday for office hours. Let's say from 3 to 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you run some tests, if you start setting it up and you forget how to do something, or something glitches out, or you have a question that you just didn't think of, go ahead and contact me. Just shoot me a text or a phone call. And then Sunday morning, then that'll help you for Sunday morning. That way we're not getting emergencies on Sunday morning. If you have an emergency, try me. You know, I will try to be available. I'm not speaking on Sunday is why I'm making that offer. I am supporting another ministry, but I won't have to be on for them. So I know we're all in different time zones. Okay, great. Megan got the dashboard through the laptop. Okay, awesome, good. Well, so 816-830-1441. And don't hesitate to reach out. I will send this video or post it somehow. I haven't decided how I'll do that. And then I'll create a part 2 for next week. Okay? Any final questions or thoughts or comments? All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all for stepping out and stepping up and being willing to brave the new frontier for some of you, and some of you just maybe not very much explored frontier of digital, virtual streaming and services that you can offer for your community. So we are all in this together. And I thank you all for being warriors on the path with me. I am complete. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.